Good afternoon. I'm Sandy Stimpson, Mayor of the City of Mobile. It's Wednesday afternoon, April 29th. To give you an update on what's been going on, everybody's focus has been on the governor's order issued yesterday. A lot of conversation created by it. There are some people who are very happy about it. There are some people who are very saddened by it. You know, from the feedback that we're getting, our restaurant owners and those working in restaurants, seem to be very distressed by it, concerned about how they'll make it through the next couple of weeks, as are our cosmetologists and barbershops. My hope is that that the governor, now that she's been able to address some of the other issues and some of the other groups that needed to be given the ability to go back to work, that she can now focus on those two groups. We know you need the relief. I mean, as you know, we've been in contact with you. We've heard your stories. And so we've also carried your message to the governor's office. We feel like that you're doing the same thing through your trade associations. But also it helps for individuals to reach out to the governor's office, because they do need to understand, your plight and your special story, because there's so many heart-rending stories about things that you've done to get to this point in time, and how you're genuinely concerned about being able to make it another day, another 10 days. So my encouragement is to continue to work together. We know that many of you have excellent plans to roll out, to open up, and just know that we're going to continue to amplify your voice to the degree that we can. And I can say that it's not just Mayor Stimpson that feels that way. The mayors of the other large cities, the 10 large cities, we talk regularly. And we know across the state that it's the same story. Each city may be a little bit different, but we're all going to do the things that we can to help you. On another note, there's a lot of concern about testing. When will we have enough testing? And it's hard to answer that question, but I had a phone call from Brian Ward, the owner of Docs RX, the other day, and he's purchased a Thermo Fisher machine. He'll have the testing capability, the same as Synergy Labs. It may be a possibility that they figure out how do they complement one another, which would be really good, because Synergy's been a godsend to our city because of the number of tests that they're running and that they will continue to run, and how they've collaborated with the hospitals to make sure that those who are symptomatic are getting tested. That's been broadened just a little bit. The threshold for being tested is not quite as difficult as it was 5 weeks ago, when you had to be symptomatic and you had to have some underlying cause to be tested. But anyway, so that's going to continue to expand. My belief from reading the email from Brian is that within a couple of more weeks that he should be able to, again, complement what we're doing with the existing labs here in this city. And he actually has his own lab, and I think it's called Coastal Diagnostics. So Coast Diagnostics, and they'll be running those tests through Coast Diagnostics. Then some questions about the curfew. Well, tonight is the last night of the curfew, but I would encourage you to please remember that we put a curfew in really to protect you. And so we're hopeful that you'll be very mindful that by lifting the curfew, we're not saying game on and just go back out there and be crazy, because we still need to keep the social distancing. We also need to make sure that we don't gather in groups larger than 10, because if we find that, we will be dispersing groups that are larger than 10. And then also the governor's order, I think, allows us to find those groups that are doing that. So please cooperate with us. Been a great deal there's been a great price paid up to this point. We're going into another phase of battle against the coronavirus, and if we continue to cooperate with one another, we will make it through this. So in a few minutes, I'll have some live questions that I'll be taking from the media. I'm sure many of you probably reached out to the media to give them those questions, and so I look forward to answering them. Again, so thank you for everything that you're doing. I would close by saying this, that there's a group called One Voice from Home. One Voice from Home is about a prayer tonight, where the group that formed the, it's the Canopy of Prayer organizers have form this prayer for tonight, and it's at 7 o'clock p.m. from your own home, praying for whatever's on your heart about how you, your family, our community deals with the coronavirus. So please join with that. Just think about all the voices together in unison in the city of Mobile praying at one time and the impact that that will have. Thank you very much.